Hi, my name's Mark. I live in Bristol. I am currently looking after my mother full time for the last 6 years as a in-house carer. But that's not the career I'm going to be talking about. I started my life in the hotel and catering industry at the age of 14, peeling potatoes, shucking mussels, and washing up and serving and clearing tables from restaurant and wiping tables down and washing glasses in a bar in a very small family run hotel. It was great. I learnt so much about the whole package from reception to chambermaids to kitchen bar, like I said, everything. And that was done holidays and Easter holidays, summer holidays, Christmas holidays in Saint Malo in France. So that was a really good introduction to the French language and a bit of pocket money, and the whole idea of working in the service industry, hotel and catering industry. So when it came down to what I wanted to do when I left school, I wasn't really very bright. I got C grade kind of stuff. So, but I love the idea of travel, and I kind of had a really good experience meeting people. And I kind of wanted to, and I suddenly thought, well, actually, people need to eat, sleep, and drink, so I'm going to stay in the catering industry. So I applied for hotel and catering school in Ealing College of Higher Education back in the day, did a 3-year course there, learnt all aspects of the catering industry, from reception to room service to bars, restaurants, advertising, marketing, and the basic stuff in that. And we also had 2 6-month periods in industry, which was really very important to get a feel for things. So first of all, I'd like to say, that was really good, and it's one of the routes you can take. You don't have to go to college; you could just go and start working in a place, because it's that kind of an industry. But I would like to say it's vocational work. What I mean by that is it's not a job where you're going to get loads of money. It's not a job where you get lots of time off. It's a career path where you really have to be wanting to do physical work, and you really have to be wanting to look after people and care for people and serve people at the same time as making money, which is what business is all about. Um, from the get up, I wanted to run my own business, and I imagined all sorts of different types of businesses. Um, Interesting enough, it took me about 35 years before that actually happened. We'll come on to that in a bit. Anyway, after leaving college, I wanted to I wanted to go into the kitchen, because how can you manage a place? We were told we were potential managers after this catering management course. How can you manage a place if you don't know what the foundations is? So if it's a cafe, you really got to know how to make coffee. If it's a bar, you really got to know how to change pumps and serve beer and clean tables. If it's a restaurant, you really got to know how to cook food, and that's what I wanted to do. So I use that as a passport to travel. I worked in France, I worked in Germany, England, Ireland, Wales, and then I went even over to America and worked in Seattle and down in California, just south of San Francisco. This all gave me a huge repertoire of understanding of different styles of businesses, from restaurants to fancy places to diners and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, and I traveled, I met loads of people, and I had a time in my life from the age of 20 to 26, 27. Then I wanted to get into management. Not so easy, because I had great experience in the kitchen, but no management experience. So eventually I got a job in the contract catering, offices and factories. Very good if you want to have your evenings free and if you want your weekends off in those days, although contract catering is very broad. But it's a bit like school catering, school dining, but it's on for adults, if you know what I mean. Contract catering is excellent because it teaches you how to manage financial situations really well. The costings are great. You know, every baked bean is costed, every egg. You know exactly how much a portion is costing, and the costings are very tight, as you know from school dinners. It's 75p for feeding one person all day, or whatever it is. So it was a great learning curve from a financial perspective, and I was able then to take it into the restaurant business when I went over to Ireland and started to run a business for a friend of mine who had a small 50, 60 seat restaurant, and I did that for about 7, 8 years. My friend also developed, we developed a catering operation, outside catering parties and so forth, and then got into the cafe business. Found out the cafe business is a lot more profitable and a lot less stressful than running a restaurant. A restaurant's high-end food, high-end costs of chefs and equipment and expensive stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's brilliant. But if you want something which is higher profit turnover, coffee's a good turnover profit. So I did that, and I learned how to do the coffee business, and it was great fun. But as you all know, cafes are 2 a penny now. Back 20 years ago, that wasn't such a thing, but now it's much more competitive. Saying that, I knew what I wanted to do to run my own business. So when I came back from Ireland and I came to Bristol here, my wife and I, we set up the Blue Sky Cafe in Staple Hill. It's still there, but we are not. We ran it for 9 years, and we took over when it had net curtains and grease dripping down from the ceiling and stuff like that. And we updated it instead of the instant coffee, which was standard in those days. Well, I say those days, 2008, but that was a cafe, instant coffee. That was all they did. So we introduced a coffee machine. We introduced home-cooked food, and it wasn't just the bangers, and it wasn't just for English breakfast and the bacon sandwiches, although that was our bread and butter for a long time. But they loved local food. We did that, loved every minute of it, 7 days a week for 9 years, 1 week's holiday a year, very hard work, but we made money, very proud of that, and we sold it successfully. Okay, so that's really the catering industry for you. There's so much variety. You can do it on the ships, you can do it for a plane, you can do it for a train, you can do it in a small nursing home, you can do it anywhere. I've got a friend who's a catering manager in a John Lloyd's gym. He runs the catering operations in there. There is so much variety. If you are a good person and you work hard, you will never starve, you will never die of thirst, you will always have a job. And there is money to be made in it, but it's not easy, okay? So I don't want to give anybody an illusion, but it's a job for life, okay? Just to say that, sometimes you get very bored of these things, and careers-wise. I'm also a qualified and professional massage therapist and sports injury massage. Whilst I had the job in Ireland, which was running a restaurant, it didn't start until 3 in the afternoon. I trained up as a massage therapist and sports injury person and ran a business during the daytime doing that. And that complemented it, because in a restaurant you're working with 100 people every day or whatever, lots of people. When you're doing massage or stuff like that, therapeutic massage, sports injury, you're working one-to-one. So it gave me a great contrast and balance in life. I really enjoyed that as well. And like I said, currently we sold the restaurant just in time, I think, because of the situation we're in now in 2020 with the lockdown. And I would have been a bit stressed out if I'd had a restaurant at this time or a cafe at this time. But saying that, I'm very, very grateful that I can be at home looking after my mother in the caring industry. And that's another industry which is vocational. I see people looking after my mother because she needs professional help to come in. And they're amazing, and it's really hard work. Again, it's crazy hours, probably crazy stupid pay. Well, I know it is, but again, it's what we call intrinsic satisfaction. So deep inside your life, you can get great satisfaction from doing this kind of work. And again, it's something which is not going to go away in a hurry. Whatever you choose to do, be true to yourself, be honest, hardworking, and smile. If you start begrudging the situation, you need to think again, change your attitude, but create value wherever you go and have fun. Learn, grow, and have fun. We can still do that no matter what. Take care. Thank you very much.